Welcome back to Magic Tarot Cards. It's Jasmine. Today we have another video of world predictions, world events that are coming up for the next couple of years, actually. And I already have a few cards pulled, and probably will pull some more here in a minute. But we're going to get started. If you want that person reading, contact me with the number down below, and I'll get back at you. First, I'd like to talk about the Chariot. The Chariot is the card of travel. So with this card, what I'm seeing is you might be hearing talks of the first launch of a flying car. You know how they've been talking about cars flying in the air. So this year, I feel like there'll be either talks of it, that they might launch it pretty soon, or you might hear about, you know, one that's already in production, or something like that. And and they'll actually show pictures of it. It'll come out in the news, you know, and stuff like that. Okay. Second, we're gonna have this pertains to the war or not so much the war, or it pertains to wars, but this is over here in Ukraine and all those countries where they're fighting and stuff. So I'm seeing, here's someone defending themselves because people are poking at him. This is a lot of fighting here, more defense. This is the card of defense. And this is a card of people fighting in the upright. You know, a lot of people fighting each other, but it's in the reverse. And the reason it's in the reverse is because you're going to hear of a ceasefire. Okay, sorry, my phone stopped. You'll be hearing talks of like a ceasefire, maybe for a little bit, maybe starting in July or during this year sometime, and but there won't be no peace. It'll might stop for a little while, but then it'll start right back up again, where they'll start fighting again, and you know, throwing bombs at each other and stuff like that. That's over there in Ukraine and all those places where they're having problems right now with war and stuff like that. So, but there'll be like a newscast where it says, oh, they've stopped firing at each other, ceasefire. And then everybody would think, okay, it's over. But then it won't be over. Then you'll see that it'll start right up again. Excuse me. I'm also seeing there'll be trouble underneath the sea. There's going to be trouble first. Let me talk. There's going to be trouble with the sun and then the water. Okay, so there'll be trouble underneath the sea because there's going to be a volcano somewhere that erupts, which is going to cause a giant tsunami. Now, I've predicted this a few years back in one of my videos. There's a mountain that has a volcano on the other side of the ocean. Okay, so when it erupts, the whole mountain's going to fall into the water, which is going to create ripple effects, and it causes a tsunami underneath the water, which is going to travel all the way like up by New York, down that coast of Florida, and it'll go like 12 miles into the earth. It could reach the waters could reach as high as the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so you'll hear of stuff like that. If this volcano erupts, which I think is due to erupt, then it'll create a tsunami. And I'm also seeing some activity with the sun. The sun activity has increased to where it's going to cause effects like with radio communication. Electrical power grids will go down, and then it's going to cause a lot of problems with navigation signals, is what I'm hearing. I think those are like, you know, navigating planes, things like that. Navigation signals is what I keep hearing. So when the sun activity increases, it'll create problems in those areas, which is not going to be good. It's going to be somewhat catastrophic. If they can't give signals out to airplanes, there'll be more plane crashes and stuff like that. All right. And then I am seeing, due to the tariffs, there's going to be a lot more banks closing, a lot more jobs closing. See, this is the card of loss. People are sad because they've lost something. I'm seeing a lot of government jobs closing due to the tariffs, a lot of doors shutting, businesses, big businesses shutting, small businesses, and then a lot of banks, for some reason, they'll be closing down. So there'll be a lot of people sad because they've lost their jobs and just don't know what to do. These tariffs that the president created are really not doing us any good, contrary to what anybody else thinks. Because I feel like they're affecting us in a bad way. I don't feel like they're going to affect us in a good way. You know, too many losses in that. Okay. Now, I'm also seeing with this one, I forgot to mention, I'm seeing talks of alien civilization. I'm seeing by the year of 2028, I'm seeing that somebody out there will either make contact with them or say that they've seen a civilization of aliens, like that they've either actually been there or have seen it or something like that, to where they'll actually have proof of it. But this won't happen until like 2028. You'll start hearing talks about alien civilization again. You know, they've been talking about this forever, our whole lifetime. So, but then somebody will actually have proof that there is civilization out there, you know, about that. I'm also seeing the melting of ice, polar ice, over there where the ice is, you know, and I'm seeing because of that, it's going to raise the sea level up. The water will come up to a harmful level, which won't be good for the earth or for us because of the melting. And that might be due to the sun activity that I just talked about, which will melt the ice and the waters will rise in a bad way where there'll just be too much water on earth, you know. And then I'm hearing also talks about going to not just Mars, you know, because I've predicted before that they want to colonize Mars, but I'm also hearing talks about going to Venus in 2028. So you have two planets that they want to colonize, which would be Mars and Venus, and they'll be by 2028 they'll be talking also about colonizing Venus as well. All right, so but keep in mind, if they do that and you're one of the people that go, you will never return. They will never bring you back. And the type of people I see going there are people like scientists, doctors, you know, like those type of people, to where they want to preserve them, you know, their knowledge. So I guess so they can have them longer than what they would live here on Earth. This is their train of thought. Okay, so those type of people would be flown over there, shipped over there, or whatever. But again, if these people go over there and want to come back, they won't be able to. They will never bring them back. They will end up staying there and you'll be stuck there forever. So think twice. If you're one of the people that want to go and then you're going to make it back, you're not going to make it back. Ever. In the rest of this year, 2025, we're going to have a lot of economic turmoil, you know, as far as money issues and stuff like that, because of the stuff allegedly that Trump is doing with the tariffs and tax cuts and tax increase and tax, anything that has to do with taxes and government things. So our economic is going to just be off. A lot of people losing their jobs. A lot of people can't afford to stay in their homes anymore. I'm seeing a lot of people rent storage rooms to live in and buses and stuff like that. And they just give up their homes because they just can't afford to live there anymore. And then they go live in a storage room, which is cheaper. The biggest storage room that I rented was $250 a month, and it was huge. Well, people will rent those, and it's illegal to live in them. Keep in mind, it's illegal to live in them, but people will do it anyway. And $250 a month is cheap, right? They just won't have any electricity or water or stuff like that. You know, they'll partially live in those, like to sleep in at night, and then in their car to go off somewhere to take a shower or whatever. A lot of gym memberships will increase because of that, because people will get the memberships just to go in there and take showers and stuff like that. So gyms, their memberships are going to increase. They'll be making more money from memberships because people will be forced to get memberships just to use their showers and facilities and stuff like that. All right. I'm seeing a lot of that. Yeah. The main concern, oh yeah, I'm seeing a lot more natural disasters, flooding. Again, I'm talking about flooding because of the ice melting and the water rising, the sea level rising, so it causes flooding in certain areas. There'll be a lot of more massive tornadoes, because we just had some in Kentucky and Missouri. I had a subscriber that was affected by one of those. Their whole house collapsed on them, and either the baby or the husband are in critical condition right now as we speak. So my prayers and thoughts are with them, and but that will increase due to climate change and due to planet lineup. Okay, planet lineup. I'm also seeing that you'll hear talks of an asteroid that might hit the Earth in July, anywhere from July to December. You might hear of an asteroid that's coming our way that will hit the Earth. But as it enters the Earth, the oxygen, the atmosphere kind of eats it up. So by the time it gets here, it won't be as big as it first started. I do know that much in science, that when those asteroids are coming, the oxygen or atmosphere, whatever that is, it starts burning it up until it comes into little pieces. So that's a good thing. All right. Now, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to do a part 2 or another one because there's a lot more information that I'd like to put out there. But I'm giving you right now some of the most important things that are coming that Spirit has told me and that I see from the cards. All right, and then there'll be a lot more. I'll do an update on this too. Thanks for watching, y'all. If you want that personal reading, text me. Please don't send money until you've actually talked to me. Keep in mind, I will never call you out of the blue because I don't know you or your number. So if you get any type of messages that says Magic Tarot Card, it's not me. All right. You have to text me first. Tell me who you are. Say you want a reading, and then I'll text you back. All right. Just be aware of impersonators and stuff like that, because there's always someone out there that's up to something. All right. So, again, if you want that personal reading, text me, and I'll get right back at you. Thanks for watching. This is Jasmine from Magic Tarot Cards.